morning and welcome to the Breakfast Express show. This is MITV Plus. It's always a delight to be on the breakfast table, sharing breakfast with everyone. But today's breakfast is extremely special, and it's because it is Salad Day. So there's going to be meat, and meat. Meat for breakfast, meat for brunch, meat for lunch, meat for dinner. It's going to be meat all the way. Yes, it's time for us to say Baraka de Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Another opportunity for reflection, another opportunity for celebration, another opportunity for reaching out, and remembering, the less privileged, your neighbors and other people other than yourself. My prayer is that this will not be the last that you will see. There'll be many, many more ahead. Again, I'd like to say to all our children all around the world, happy Children's Day. It's supposed to be a day, to celebrate, except that each time we want to laugh, wholeheartedly, there's something that keeps nagging at the back of our minds and telling us that not all the children are out there today having, a happy Children's Day. Some children are caught in the forest, and we really wish, that the best Children's Day gift that they could have or be given today would be a release of all of them. Welcome to the breakfast show again, and happy Children's Day to all the children. Baraka de Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm not alone on the table. I have Okweyemi Akiode, and I also have Stephen Odole. Stephen is here on the table. So we're three on the table today, and together we're going to make it an interesting package for you. Good morning, Okwe. We didn't have you yesterday. We missed you greatly. We said so, and we know that you know that we missed you. So it's good to have you back on the table this morning.
Well, I think that's the first since this program started.
Yes.
I mean, I'm that type that I'll go the very extra mile to make sure that I get my job done. But yesterday was just way beyond my control. In fact, I got into the rain. Before like 3-4 minutes to the bus stop, I was drenched. I went back home, I changed. I wanted to try it again. I just felt like it couldn't work. So I had to, join the conversation. And, when he got to the part I was supposed to read on the script, and Stephen started reading it, I was watching at home. And I was like, okay, let me borrow you my voice. And, I just enjoyed the conversation. And I thank you very much for, filling in yesterday. And to take a lead from what you said this morning, I woke up around 12:10 this morning, and I felt like, listen, we're celebrating Children's Day. The entire world is celebrating Children's Day. In a few weeks' time, we're going to be celebrating the International Children's Day in June. And one of the things that caught my mind is that I've been to IDP camps in this country, and when there are crises, the biggest victims are always the children. The adults can take care of themselves. The adults can quickly readapt to new situation and all of that. For the kids, it's a tough ask, especially those, the unfortunate situation. Well, it is about 14 days now that those kids have been abducted at Orire local government in Ogbomoso. 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 11-year-olds. And you're wondering if they would ever heal from that trauma for the rest of their lives. So while we celebrate, let us remember those kids out there, those ones that have died, those ones that are still in IDP camps, those ones that are still in, the kidnappers' den. Our hearts reach out to them today, and we're simply saying that you are not forgotten. You have actually been failed by a system that is supposed to protect you, but we love you regardless. And we hope that the government will get those kids back safe and alive.
All right, Stephen, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I see that all of us, we're fully native. Well, I don't have a gilly, but it's a boo-boo anyway.
Good morning, everyone. And happy celebration to the Muslim faithfuls, and happy celebration to the children as well. My name is Stephen Odole.
Oh, you introduce yourself today. I don't know, maybe you're scared of, maybe you don't want people to know your name. No,
You know, we just had a brief talk.
So you have to act on it.
We had a brief talk just before. And I don't think Stephen realizes that he never mentions his name. You know, so yeah, he never mentions his name. Oh, all right. Anyway, we'd like to welcome you again. We'll take our usual commercial break, and when we return, we'll be looking at the dailies and what they have to serve us this morning for breakfast.
No limits.
Welcome to the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award.
This isn't a reset.
It's an evolution.
Arsenal at the top of the Premier League table.
We're going to build our paradise here on earth.
Locks up and he makes contact with his old rival.
Moments turn into memories. History into legacy.
Anything can happen.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point oh.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point, Oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go Bible.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Well, you're welcome back. It's still the Breakfast Express show. You were just having a little tete-a-tete behind the scene. We have the papers this morning, and I'd like to start with the Punch newspaper, like I usually do. For some reason, I don't know. But let's take the Punch newspaper now, and then after which we will be looking at The Nation and then Vanguard. Okay, the Punch newspaper, the above the nameplate, court orders INEC to adjust 2027 poll timetable. Salah, Tinubu, Akpabio, and governors preach unity. How do you see that? Do you see it as a formal thing? Is it just a regular? Is it just formality?
That's what I'm going to. Everybody just uses the period to
pass a goodwill message.
You almost think that they have those messages somewhere. They just change the dates and then they just send it out. And then maybe they change the person that signs. It's signed by SSA to so and so. Sometimes it's a case of this is what I'm saying to you, but it's not exactly what I'm preaching to you. How many politicians in Nigeria are expressing body language that preaches peace? We're just going through the process of electoral primaries, and then we saw all of the shenanigans that we are seeing everywhere. That doesn't look a reflection of the messages that they are posting.
You know that's one of the things myself and my driver discussed this morning. You know that we're coming from a driver, and this is not. I'm not talking condescendingly, you know, but I'm just saying that, you know, the people you don't expect will be following these things are the people, the same people that are actually following it back to back to back. And you know, when he started to talk to me, but talk about that, talk about this, the person I'm talking about is extremely intelligent, versatile. Don't let me start to sing his praises. So you know, it wasn't anything I didn't expect. But what am I trying to say? That people are watching. You know, people are watching. We spoke extensively. And then when you see this kind of message coming from Tinubu Akpabio, of course, the president he doesn't have a choice. Of course. You know, he has to say something today. Yes, and then he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim. So, of course, he would want to, you know, say something in that line. But honestly, the Senate president, I don't even know if he, first of all, understands the meaning of unity, because every time he brings, you know, things that may, you know, eventually disunite us, and it's quite unfortunate. Stephen, you've been smiling.
I'm smiling and just trying to take in, you know, all of the thoughts that, you know, you were sharing. I think there's a large gap, you know, between just giving a speech, just like Okwe said, giving a speech to commemorate the day, and you know what happened to the day before that day.
What happens the day after that day?
Yes, and what happens after? You know, so all of these things are things that it will make us worry. You know, it will make the average Nigerian worry.
But Stephen, you don't seem to me like someone who worries at all. You know, it just comes and, you know, okay, if it's come like that, you know, let's take it like that. All right, still on the Punch newspaper, 30,000 Fulani militants fueling Nigeria's insecurity. And this is coming from the United States of America. Well, they know what they're talking about. They have the figures. Shamefully, we seem not to have the figures. We seem not to know these people. We seem not to know how to get them. We seem to be clueless, completely clueless. But the United States of America is giving us facts and figures, empirical evidences about our country. I would like to turn the tables around. Can we, as Nigerians,
don't finish that line of thoughts.
Okay, I'll allow you to talk then.
I think what they call that is
don't fall off the table.
You know, and sadly, our intelligence capacity, we can't compare with US's.
You know, I mean, USA has the largest intelligence network in the entire world, and they call them the big brother for that reason. They have eyes and nose and interest in every country of the world, whether for the right, for the wrong reason. So when the United States tells you these are the people funding so and so chaos in your country, they don't just come out to release umbrella statement. At the US Parliament, the Speaker or the Senate President is not Godzilla Akpabio, and I just say things to excite his followers. These people speak from the place of authority and numbers and facts. So if those say we should flip the table, I don't know what part of the table want to flip, whether it's the edge or the center of the table. So imagine you waking up and say, the shootings going on in Philadelphia, for instance, is caused by mentally derailed people. Then you ask, how did you get it? You say from the Nigerian intelligence agency. The intelligence that could not trace bandits that are uploading videos.
Exactly.
The bandits that are calling victims to demand for ransom and negotiate ransom. The same intelligence that has access to every single SIM card that is registered in this country, that has access to every single NIN that is registered in this country, but you still could not track common bandits. You want to give intelligence to the US. But you can track whoever is calling out the government or whoever is criticizing the president. You can track whoever they are.
Even constructive criticisms.
They are not safe.
I mean, on social media, people are not safe. And that's why, you know, you can remember the day that you know, that was emotionally drawn. Can you remember the day? And, you know, I was speaking. I said I take full responsibility for everything I said, because I don't want any station to be sanctioned. You know, if anything is going to go wrong, hold me responsible, because I am not, you know, talking tongue in cheek. I am saying exactly what I know. You know, it depends on how you take it. If you take it negatively, that's beyond me. That's yours. You know, in your handling, that's your at your discretion. So, you know, that's the way it is. Unfortunately, this is Nigeria, and that's not an excuse, because it is bad. What is bad is bad. But I don't know when we will get to this level where we can even give statistics of our own internal issues. Unfortunately, I'm looking forward to that day, and let's see when that day will come. But I know that in my lifetime, Nigeria will be great again, whether our leaders like it or not. Okay, the banner headline for the Punch newspaper: ADC primary in turmoil as Amechi rejects Atiku win. So this is in internal party wahala again. So you see, it doesn't only rain in one house or on one house or one family. When it rains, it's a general thing, touches everybody. So the APC have had their own fair share of disgruntled members and all of that. And now it's the time and turn for the ADC primary as the results have come out. Okay, I wonder how they would, mend this. I hope it would not end up in the courts, as usual. Let's see how it goes. Well, the writer for that story is Atiku wins in over 20 states. Ex-Rivers governor alleges results concocted. No, but really, that's funny, because who did we really expect to
win the primaries?
Exactly.
I mean,
this man came out in the last election, and he was second in the last election. Now, this is just the primaries for the party. I mean, among the three, everybody expected that Atiku would be the flag bearer.
I'm surprised,
irrespective of the geographical.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised that anyone is expecting anything different to come out of the primaries of the ADC.
And now that's what I'm saying.
We've recycled the same old politicians over time.
Exactly.
The national chairman of the party remains the longest-serving Senate president in the history of this country, Senator David Mark. The national secretary of the party, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, was commissioner, governor, and minister. The national police secretary of the party, Malam Bolaji Abdullah, was former minister of sports. So tell me which of the guys within the space of the ADC are new to political conversation in this country. The same people that have benefited from a rigged system to get into political office, all of a sudden want to become the messiah overnight. So I'm trying to understand why nobody is expecting anything different. Atiku has been contesting primaries in this country since the 1990s.
Yes,
people often forget that Atiku was at the Just Convention with MKO Abiola that brought in the Hope 93 conversation. And he's been there, from 1999 all the way 2007, 2011, left the PDP, came to the AC, came to the ACN, he didn't get the ticket, he went back to the PDP, became the 2019-2023 candidate of the PDP, left the PDP, came to the ADC. This is a man with almost 40 years of political experience in Nigeria. And Rotimi Amechi thinks that he has enough clout in a party that have been nurtured, taken care of by invincible forces that people have alleged to be the handwriting of Atiku Abubakar. There's a reason Peter Obi and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso left the ADC. We need it as a coalition of people, not exactly they want to change things, but they want power. So when I started seeing the fallouts, even the Ayatuddin, the man that came in the 9 minutes, the economist and businessman, the serial aspirant, also is asking that the result were manipulated. And then I saw some very interesting figures. When Atiku was getting 139, Rotimi Amechi was getting 1,500. The game is the game. The game is the game. You can't bend the rules. The game is the game. Atiku Abubakar is, and this is not me, doing any PR for Atiku Abubakar.
Nobody is doing PR for him. You're just stating the obvious. Come on now.
He's the most consistent politician in the history
of
this country.
Not just the most consistent in this, in the country.
In the country.
That's number one. Number two, in this party, the party is just like a fraction of the entire political.
Like
and then you're now making it seem like it's a big deal for Atiku.
So you think because you are Amechi, you can stroll in and win a direct primaries. There's no form of primary that anybody will beat Atiku to. Whether they do indirect, it means delegates.
Any which way
whether
goes.
They do direct, whether they do consensus, whether they say all the aspirants should lie down on the table and people should be touching them. There's no pattern of primaries that Atiku would lose.
That's the fact.
So what's Amici expecting?
In fact, I'm surprised, that, and I don't understand why Nigerians are like this. Because in the first place, and this is why we are never able to come together and achieve, and break through the barriers and the challenges that we have, because it's all about us. In this case, I would have expected an Amechi and what's the other Ayatude to join forces with Atiku to say, you know what, there's no point, because you're the most experienced here. I mean, there's no way they can even stand beside Atiku. I expected they would have joined forces with Atiku to ensure that they are stronger together as a party. But here we are.
I think in issues like this, the core issue is ambition.
Yes.
Amechi is ambitious.
Ayatude
is ambitious. The same thing would have happened if Peter Obi was still there.
Yes.
It is expected. I was expecting conflict. There will be conflict because this person is ambitious. Do you have the traction? I don't know. But this person is ambitious. This person is ambitious. There will be conflict. So on the part of, I think also you made mention of something. You said, they are supposed to already know, right?
Yep.
But I feel like it is more of, there's a thing in the Christian setting, we call it grace, right? Look, yes. Peter Obi to come out. And
brother.
They did not do primaries for him. They just said, you know what, you be the flag bearer. By consensus. For what reason? I don't know.
You think that is grace?
I think so. I think it is just grace. Because at the end of the day, everything works out. Why will an experienced politician like Atiku, still have that, how should I say, a place, an environment where he is, right? And he has declared his ambition. And you're still seeing ambitious people still coming up. Maybe it's just not there, right? And the best way to settle it is through the primaries.
See, the thing is, I'm not sure there's any problem with people having ambitions. What I've always questioned when people come out to say you're over-ambitious, you don't have the right to determine what is being over-ambitious to me. However, if you look at the political conversation in this country, there are certain coins you don't flip overnight. It takes consistency. So when they call Atiku the serial aspirant, it is not just a chieftaincy title. It's a word on the streets. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if you look at how long he's moved around the political parties in this country, you'd expect that for every primaries, Atiku, that's why people don't want to get into the context.
And don't forget also that he has been the vice president of the Federal
country
Republic of
for
Nigeria
8 years.
For 8 years. So you can't take that away from him. Where is Amici? It's just like, Okwe is just like, one thing I like Stephen for, Stephen is not in competition with anybody. And the one reason why Stephen will do well in this profession is because he gives, to Caesar what is Caesar's. Now, Stephen will never want to be an Okwe. Rather, Stephen will want to learn from an Okwe. He said it this morning. And that's the kind of thing that I expect in this situation. You understand what I'm saying? When you know that someone is your superior, you give it to that person and give it up for that person. And then you'll even be able to learn the ropes more and better. All right, let's move on. We have more riders for that story. Concerned by widespread vote rigging, Hayatuddin boycotts process. Of course, that's what we expect. The two of them are doing their own, one after the other. All right, and finally, 6 redress through party mechanism, ADC tells aggrieved presidential aspirants. Still on the Punch newspaper, more governors candidates emerge under PDP and ADC, governorship candidates. Oil price jumps amid renewed U.S.-Iran tension. I am totally fed up of this U.S.-Iran thing, honestly, because the fallout from this is just too much. Honestly, we're feeling it so bad. It's really biting so bad, and I don't know when all of this is going to end. I don't know why they can't come to a sort of, agreement, a more solid, and permanent agreement to all of this. It's just about, like Stephen rightly said, it's just about ambitions. People's ambitions, egos, and all of that. Control, pride. And all these things. And at the end of the day, honestly, Okwe, when you look at life, length to breadth, there's really nothing there. There's nothing to.
You acquire everything, you leave everything.
And then you
behind.
leave everything. That's the bottom line. You leave everything. Why don't we just remember that, all of this is not going to go anywhere with us,
I would just say the U.S. administration, the current administration, the thing is, like you said, it's ego. And I feel like they've gone past that point where they can come back to now say, I'm sorry. A lot of things have been destroyed. A lot of things have been shaken. Relationship has been tested, and
tried and tested.
Yes, and others are not giving in. So at this point, if US retracts and says, want to apologize, I'm sure they won't even accept it. They won't even consider it. So the only way forward
is to just keep going.
And that's why all of these things are so persistent.
Yeah, keep going. But since there was like a kind of calm, the tension was a bit eased. I think they should have just, coasted on that. I really don't like all of this. Yes. Okay,
John. I'm looking at it. Sorry to cut. I'm looking at it from a different point of view. International diplomacy is ruthless.
I know.
Does not care whether.
Yeah, it doesn't care.
That's why countries, from days immemorial, countries have always colonized other countries and taken advantage of their resources.
Yeah.
Take their men. So it's that's.
And if this didn't even happen, we probably may not be where we are as we speak, because don't forget that there was some sort of infiltration at a point as to how our government is running things in terms of the security of its people. And, there were allegations and counter-allegations that the eyes of the U.S. was on our oil. It wasn't that they were so concerned, not even interested, concerned about the safety issues. I mean, these were allegations, nobody could prove anything, but, people were saying this, so we never know where we would have been at this time. Perhaps it was a kind of distraction, in our favor, but at the same time, it's not in our favor. We're between a rock and a hard place, the devil and the deep blue sea. Which one will you choose? Honestly, it's not an easy thing. Okay, Jonathan cleared for 2027 as PDP holds court verdict. Okwe sent that as soon as the news broke yesterday, and would like to wish former president good luck. It
seems you did not listen to your advice. You advised him. You did.
No. We did.
My advice was not offered. I just kept it hanging. It's his choice. But you.
but we have a caller. Let's take this call. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. I hope we don't have a problem today. We can't hear you. Sir, can you please call back? Thank you. Okay, so President Goodluck Jonathan, I don't know. I really don't know, So, ex-president, elder statesman, who has now decided that one caller said,
what did he forget?
He said, what did he forget? His placenta in Aso Rock. People could be so mean. You don't talk like that in public spaces. Oh my God.
But the truth is this. It's just like you said. They've always said that you need to learn to leave when the ovation is loudest.
Yeah, but he did leave when the ovation was loudest. Was he come? That's the question. What's Goodluck Jonathan coming back for? I mean, in this, not even at a time like this when politics has become what fella called rougher fights. It's so dirty.
If Jonathan had come back in 2019, maybe he would have been a bit fresh in the minds of the people. In Nigeria, again, in Nigeria's political
we have a call on the line. I wanted to be sure that we will hear him. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm from my 12 in Lagos.
My 12 in Lagos. What's your name, sir? Okay, you're welcome to the program. You want to make a contribution or comment?
I want to give a photo to that man in white dress for the beautiful expression he gave about Atiku. That man is a great politician, and
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you very, very much. Well, it is really not for us to say because we would only make a contribution. We would only criticize constructively. We would only bring to the fore what is happening, at the backstage. That's the best we can do. But it's really left to Atiku if he wants to keep. We really can't say
He
do
has
not.
started the first step.
Yes. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Enugu.
Okay, sir. What's your name, sir?
My name is Barrister Austin Akulue.
Barrister Austin, welcome to the show. You want to make a contribution?
Yes, I want to make a contribution with respect to Jonathan's intention.
Okay, go ahead.
Of course, I doubt if he has such an intention. Sometimes rumor mongers play certain sensitive information to the gallery.
Okay.
Either because this man has not come out to issue a communique that he wants to run for the presidency of Nigeria.
Okay, but he did register. He was screened.
He was screened.
Yes, he was screened.
No, he was not present at the screening venue.
He was.
So he will be aware.
Sir.
He was not present at the screening venue. These were the other factions of the PDP trying to, balance the equation with the weakest faction. But it will be absurd for Jonathan, with all his international acclaim, positive acclaims, to go and contest for the presidency of Nigeria for the second time. Of course, he will lose. He will lose. He will lose, definitely. He will lose. Thank you. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Barrister. And I think that we're in total agreement with you.
Let me
and
read
we
you
had
quickly.
we had agreed. We had said exactly the same thing. What do you want to read?
Yeah, the Kabiru Turaki-led faction of the PDP granted him an automatic waiver, clearing him as their consensus candidate without undergoing the standard screening process. So he wasn't actually physically present at the screening.
Yeah.
But probably because of, the way at the Senate, tell you to take a bow. Because he's a comrade. He's been here before. So they just gave him the waiver. But there's no way somebody will be trying to sell a product with my name.
And
I'm
you
not
will keep
comfortable
quiet.
with it. And I'll keep
quiet.
I'm
Yeah.
not a child.
So yeah, that's we are in agreement with Barrister. Barrister has made his point very clear, and yes, we think. Well, I can't speak for my colleagues on the table, but I think that Jonathan will be making a huge mistake to be coming out again to run for the position of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria when he has reached a comfort zone, so to speak, where, he can talk as an elder statesman. He can give advices, and make contributions to the current or the sitting president, I think that Jonathan said he wanted some peace, and so did his wife, and that they have found the peace that they so deserve. So why would they want to come back? We're just hoping that he doesn't want to come back, really, because if he does, then like you said, he may lose. All right, we have another speaker on the line. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir? Oma. It'd be nice to have a female. Okay, we lost that call. All right, I just want to round up the Punch newspaper. Ex-Power Minister Maman begins 75-year jail term in Kuje prisons. I hear about these Kuje prisons. When they take the big wigs to Kuje prisons, they're really not in prison. There's so much comfort for them, for some of them. And, well, this is what we hear. So maybe they should have taken him to, somewhere else.
Well, this is what I think about freedom and liberty. I think you helped me some weeks back to clarify the thin line between same. And I think it's the belief I've held on to for so many years. There's one between freedom and liberty. Freedom means that you know what you are doing. You can do whatever you want to do at any time. But you see that liberty. No matter the luxury he's getting in the prison,
it's not the same.
In the prison.
Yep. True.
No matter how much they open the doors for you, your time of visit is still controlled. They determine who gets what. You cannot leave the prison to go and attend political rallies. You cannot leave the prison to enjoy the law. You cannot drive a car in the prison. So no matter the comfort you get in that your prison, as long as the gates of that place,
years.
You see,
it's not Bizo.
no, I don't know. I'm happy since the day he got sentenced. I've been happy because I'm in a system where people don't exactly get punished for consequences of
for
their
the crime.
inactions or actions.
Yeah, true.
If you are the minister of power and you stole that much amount of money, and Nigerians are dying and complaining of epileptic power supply, 75 years is enough. Even if you are 10 years old, by the time you come back, your body will tell you. Go and ask the elder statesman, I don't want to mention his name, that did 2.5 years as chairman of Nigerian Port Authority, and he used old age to go to jail. No matter the luxury he enjoyed in that prison, in his record, he's an ex-convict. He is an ex-convict.
Well, just as you rightly said, I agree with you 100%, because, if we can get, more culprits, to face the wrath, the full wrath of the law, then perhaps, just perhaps, because Nigerians are resilient though, perhaps some people would say, you know what, I don't want to walk that path. Exactly. But unfortunately, for example, we have people who were in charge of power, who are now cross-carpeting to become governors of certain states, and absolutely nothing is being done about the fact that you failed Nigerians.
And if you're in the primary
wait now, you failed Nigerians. You had the mind, the audacity to just abandon that position and still want to, and still aspire to lead where you had failed. You now want to lead. I don't understand how that would have worked. But thankfully, there's really no hope for you. It's a dead end. We also have lots of other people who have done same.
Sorry to hold your
and
thoughts.
They're not being held to.
Do you know that Adelabu is still better? Yaya Bello.
That's you didn't let me. That's what I had started talking. I said you have other people. No, wait now. I said you have other people. It was Yaya Bello I was speaking about. That man, I don't know what he's doing on the streets in the first place. I don't understand how Yaya Bello can even be in a position where he can
pick up a form in the first place.
I don't understand.
And
nobody is saying anything about it.
He's the leader of the APC in the state. He's the leader of the governor in the state.
And I know that, consciences, are not often used, just like common sense is not often used. I had told you on the table before that it's not that common. Someone said common sense is not common. And I said, no, common sense is very common. But it's the usage of it, that is not common. It's not commonly used. The same way, I don't know why people just ignore their conscience. They don't listen to their conscience, because I want to believe that God put a conscience in every single one of us. And for example, the bandits, I wonder how they process things. The same thing, Yaya Bello. I don't understand how that man is still walking free and expecting to run.
The courts.
It's
the courts.
Nigeria has a fundamental problem. A fundamental problem. And until we get to the bottom of the problem that we have, I don't know how it's going to go.
It's the courts. Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor of Delta State, was alleged to have mismanaged 1.2 trillion. In fact, he was kept in EFCC custody for many days until he switched over and joined the All Progressive Congress. He is now a ticket holder in Delta State.
But it's often said that, once you join your sins are forgiven.
That's why I said it's the court. Yaya Bello was declared wanted by EFCC. In fact, the chairman of EFCC said he would rather resign his appointment than not see Yaya Bello getting persecuted.
Of course. He couldn't even go to the EFCC. Eventually, when he went, he went like a king.
All the ceremony.
Went with a sitting governor.
Wanted.
I don't understand.
He went with the sitting governor to enjoy the immunity of the governor.
to enjoy the immunity of the governor.
He's aspiring to become the senator representing Kogi Central.
And honestly, even at the time he went with the governor, I think the EFCC should still have rounded
No,
him.
they had to enjoy. It was enjoying the immunity of the governor.
No, I think he should have been rounded up because he didn't have immunity anymore. He didn't have immunity anymore. Anyway, let's look at the final story on the Punch newspaper. Federal government cuts train fares by 50% for Eid celebration. Let's take this call and then we can talk about something else or go to some other paper. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Express Show. What's your name, sir?
My name is Ngozi.
Oh, Ngozi. What's your name, ma'am? Ngozi what? Olisa. Okay, you want to make a contribution?
No, I just want to thank all of you because I saw the number on my television.
Wow.
Okay, well, how old are you, Ngozi? How old are you? Ngozi? You're what?
13.
You're 13. Okay, Ngozi, first of all, let me wish you happy Children's Day. It's your day today. Thank you so much for calling into the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. And, I wish you had seen publicity. We have a Children's Day publicity. It's today. We would have loved for you to register and come into the studio, sit on the table, be on the microphone, talk like you want to talk, and celebrate Children's Day with us here. Anyway, thank you so much for calling and best wishes and regards to your parents. All right, so that's it from the Punch newspaper. Can we move to The Nation?
Okay, maybe Stephen will take The Nation, but I have a little news. The result for the ADC is out.
Is out.
So let me just flash through it real quick. The final result is Atiku Abubakar with 1,176,324 votes. Amechi with 223,508.
Don't finish.
And Ayatudin with 109,052 votes. So both of Amechi and Ayatudin have rejected the results, and they say that they would give out their
even if they combine both of them together, they can't get to Atiku. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. We have a lot of callers this morning. Hello. Well, you need to turn down the volume of your television set if you want to call us on the program so that we can hear you. You don't need to hear yourself because you're the one who's speaking. That's the rule right now. So if you want to speak to us or contribute to the program, you need to turn down the volume of your TV set. So, Stephen, you want to take The Nation newspaper?
Yes, on The Nation newspaper, the headline, Amechi Ayatudin rejects Atiku's win. On the top page, you can see Oyo pupils, DSS takes over rescue plan, air assets deployed. Tinubu pledges improved security in Eid message. Duke honor to fly PRP, PDP presidential flags. Court strikes out suit seeking to bar Jonathan from contesting. And also, taking up a large chunk of the front page, we see the High Chief, Dr. Government, Owezide Ekpemukolo.
Hello?
Okay, we have a caller. Good morning and welcome to the show. What's your name? We lost it. Okay, go on.
Yes, alias Tompolo, wishing the governor, wishing the president 3 years of courageous, far-sighted leadership.
Okay, can we look at, we have a call. Let's take this call and then we can take the... Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to the show. What's your name, sir, and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Abia State.
From where?
Abia State.
Abia State. Okay. Yeah, what's your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Bunna.
Mr. Bunna. All right, you want to make a contribution?
Yeah, I do, yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I've been listening with great interest your expressions and how you're diluting the papers. And what caught my mind was when my lady was speaking about ambition of the purported former Kogi State governor, who is expressing his interest to represent Nigeria as a senator. And also my good friend highlighted on Ogowa. You see, thank God people immediately stumble with the phrase that whoever entered APC at the cities are forgiven. Even our Senate president today has a lot of things in his back, where he was accused of a lot of things. He had Senate, he invited him, but they are being shielded because they are in APC. Because we know that once anybody the father says to go and stay, uses like to break the door. What happens to him? That is why it's a laughable thing in this country. This thing is what has prompted even the parties you are talking about. When people like this stay with pain, stay with urge, stay with impunity, it not happen to them. So if you cannot beat them, you join them. So they use other means to do what they want to do. So it's a very big problem in this country. Look at people that they cannot do anything. They cannot help anybody. The country is suffering. And people like that are coming to represent this country. And the whole world will be looking at us. They have all these things. How do we treat our own criminals? It is wrong. We should use this book as president as example. As I told you already that one man was pursued to Kaduna from his power. He was arrested. Okay. Other ones that done something worse than they didn't done. And they're walking free on the street. May God help us in this country, please.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogbonna. This is what we see in Nigeria, and unfortunately, nothing is being done about it. Well, the one thing I would like to ask you, Mr. Ogbonna, I wish you could respond, but I almost know what the response is going to be. You have a choice. You, Mr. Ogbonna, have a choice to join these people, but you didn't join. So, you see, this idea of people joining because their sins will be forgiven is because that is who they are. They themselves are not good human beings, you know. We don't even want to go the way of the Senate president, because on this table we've criticized him constructively time and time again. A man who is a number 3 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would open his mouth to say, you know, that 2 weeks after election, that all these kidnappings and killings and banditry and all of that will stop. Excuse me? The third man in this country would speak like that with reckless abandon. The same man who said, you know, they were offering prayers for the weekend. The same man who goes on and on and on.
That wherever you find
food, eat. Excuse me, wherever you find food, eat. That's the man occupying the 3rd position in Nigeria. Mr. Ogbonna, I am as embarrassed as you are. I am as disappointed as you are. And so is everyone on the table. We keep talking and talking and talking. Perhaps one day our voices will be heard, you know. All right, it's time for us to move to the next newspaper.
Okay, I think we've just taken The Nation.
So you take the Vanguard.
So let's look at what the Vanguard is pushing up today, as we still continue to celebrate international, Children's Day, not International Children's Day.
Yeah, I made that mistake too.
Credit to governments surges 65.6% to 39.6 trillion. Abduction. CDS deploys troops, drones to track Oyo kidnappers. That is on page 13 of the Vanguard. Resident protest alleged court killings in Warri. Okay, Vanguard newspaper is also sending a special Eid Mubarak greetings to every Nigerian. Of course, controversy trails ADC primaries. Court clears Jonathan. With the rider, Amechi Ayatudin kicks. Atiku awaits confirmation. Court dismisses suits against Jonathan with 21 million naira cost. Tinubu, Jonathan, Atiku, Obi, 4-horse race looms as Duke, Showore, Honor, others emerge as standard bearers. Still on the front page of the Vanguard, 2027, your timetable must comply with statutory time frame. Court tells INEC. For Eid Kabir, dark days are over, light is here. President Tinubu assures Nigerians. As Akpabio, Abbas, governors, Youth Wada call for sacrifice, unity, and national renewal. NDC to introduce electronic voting for the future primaries. That is coming from the national leader of the NDC, the former governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Sarah K. Dixon. Resign if you can't secure Nigerians. Adebayo tells Tinubu. Okay. Middle East war. U.S. targets Iran's missile sites. Mines laying vessels in new attacks. As Africa secures $498.8 million Ebola response pledge. Here we go again. According to reports, almost around 43 people have been killed by Ebola in DR Congo. Yeah. And there are fears that it could move into other neighboring countries. And the NCDC...
It's already moved into Uganda.
Uganda, yes. Yeah. And the NCDC, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, released a statement saying that Nigeria has a high risk of, due to migration, of also, having the virus smuggled back into the country. And I'm glad that they released that notification early enough so that they can be, proactive rather than being reactive. See, we cannot afford to shut down this economy right now. We cannot afford another Ebola. We cannot afford a lockdown. People will die of hunger, even more than the Ebola itself.
We spoke about this yesterday on the program, Stephen and I, and we were reading the news, and the Lagos State Governor and the Commissioner for Health are saying that they're extra prepared, in case Ebola comes into Lagos, that they would try the very best they can to nip it in the bud, because they have all the equipment that they need, they have all the facilities that they need, and they know that they will conquer Ebola. And I'm talking about Lagos State. And then, I remember saying on the table yesterday as well that we hope that other states will take a cue from this, so that, we can, cover the entire nation, by being prepared, being proactive, as you rightly said.
We're done with the Vanguard.
Okay, I'll be reading the Daily Sun. Kidnapping. CDS orders, oh my, we have a caller, well, it was a flash. CDS orders deployment of special air surveillance to Oyo State. Court restores INEC's power to issue election timetable and activities schedule. The banner headline for the Daily Sun, court ruling on eligibility. And before I take that, let me take this call. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, we lost that. The banner headline, Presidency, APC mock Jonathan, PDP divided. Judge dismisses suit, awards 21 million fine against lawyer. Good luck supports group's hail judgment. Okay, Okwe and I talked about this on the table a couple of times. It's, for me, it's kind of very confusing. First of all, that even if Jonathan was going to come, to, run for the position of president, that's if. PDP is kind of neither here nor there. they have factions in PDP. Now, which faction are we speaking about? Let's take this call, and then we can come back to the core story. Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir? Hello, hello. This is Ma. Good morning, Ma. You need to speak a little louder. We can't hear you. Okay. So which faction is Jonathan going to align with? Why would you, as somebody with so much experience, allow yourself to get into this mud and mess? Do you understand? So even if you were supposed to come out with all your dignity, with all the good things that you did, living when the ovation was loudest, avoiding bloodshed for your sake in Nigeria, why would you now come into confusion? But just as was it Mr. Ogbonna said, perhaps all of this is just, a facade, because we really haven't heard from the horse himself. The horse in this instance, is not a derogatory thing, but it's just saying that the man himself, yes, he's not even spoken. He's not said anything. We've not heard from him. So perhaps it's just a facade. It's just, the usual abracadabra in politics where there are some distractions to take your mind away, to confuse the people, and then before we know it, the bull's eye has been struck. You understand? That's the way of politics. That's what they tell me, that it has to be dirty. It can't be clean. Hello? I don't know why this number keeps, going off again. Yeah, I think the network in that area is not good. So, Steven, what do you have to say?
You have a call.
Another call? Okay. Hello?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Your name is Egbeleye? Okay. Where are you calling from, sir? Your boy, Lagos State. You need to do something for me. Can you completely turn down the volume of your television? Completely. Good morning. Now we can hear you better, but you haven't turned it down completely, though.
Amen. Just mute your TV.
Why don't you mute your television set? Otherwise, we need to cut the call. It's not working for us here. Hello? Yes. Okay. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. For me, it wasn't really clear, but I know Okpe heard everything because he kept responding. In a nutshell, what did he say?
He was just saying that the situation we find ourselves, that Nigerian leaders have disconnected themselves from the reality of the people that are supposed to be presiding. And I think Stephen also said that some minutes ago, that the disconnection between the governed and the government is so large that it looks like the government are living in a different bubble, like they're living in a world of their own, you know, and we are just here on the receiving end of their faulty policies. So that's what the man is saying, that the people that we have assigned to govern us don't really care about how we survive on the other side.
And I heard him say that until they go back to the word of God, you know that. Okay, thank you for your contribution, sir. I hope Nigerians are listening. That's the best we can do. That's the best you can do. And, well, with God on our side, everything will work out well. Okay, still on the Daily Sun, NDC built on strong democratic structures, not personalities. And that's coming from Dixon. Eid al-Adha, Tinubu calls for sacrifice, unity, and hails reforms. Governors Kalu, Olubadan, others urge prayers for peace and patience. Yes, peace and patience. Patience. How much patience how much more patience can Nigerians have? Nigerians are extra patient. You know, they say surulere. You know, and
our
this suru has not. Patience is a virtue. That's what suru means.
So when you get too patient and nothing is coming out, you become weary.
Yeah. Okay. How Tinubu's dialogue strategy resolved Ogoni Malabu oil. MM2 disputes presidency. Amechi Hayatuddin alleged irregularities and reject ADC primaries. We have a writer for that story. Hashim joins 2027 presidential race in Accord Party. All right, that's the way we will round up today's edition of the newspaper review. We'll take a break right now. When we return, we'll be having our discussion segment. Please stay tuned.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches on 4 dedicated channels, live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
welcome back. It's time for us to have a full discussion segment, and the numbers that you can call will be displayed on the screen shortly. Today we'll be looking at Children's Day, the fate of the Nigerian child. It's Children's Day. It's a day set aside in Nigeria for our children, But really and truly, can Nigerian children celebrate today with their full chest, so to speak, with their full chest, knowing quite all right that, some of them don't have the freedom to celebrate, to join in the celebration. And we remember these children at this time. They've been in the forest for 2 weeks, short 1 day, and action has only started to be taken as we speak. Now, it's taken so long. These children have been in the custody of the bandits for almost 2 weeks, and we've cried out, we've shouted, a teacher has been slaughtered, like the rams will be slaughtered today. The family of the slaughtered teacher can't even get his body as we speak. Now, drones, have started, flying around the area. But we must not forget that in total, we have about 40-something people that were abducted from the school. Now, these bandits have enough human shield. They will certainly, it's a giving that they will use these people as their shield. Now, I'm thinking, how will these children be rescued such that none of them is hurt, and so that perhaps Children's Day will be re-celebrated again in Nigeria after today, when these children are finally released. So we're looking at the fate of the Nigerian child on Children's Day. Stephen.
There's a lot to look at. The kidnapping on its own, like we've discussed some days ago, it is traumatic. Even people that don't know them are distressed, not to talk of that family or the students, or it's crazy. Speaking on the fate of the Nigerian child on a day like this, we also look at the economic standpoint. I remember, some years ago when I was younger, on a day like this, we'd drink Coke. On a day like this, we'd eat jollof rice. On a day like this, there will be lights. We'll watch cartoon on MITV,
So why are you looking at him like that?
No, I'm just reminiscing, and it's almost as if the joy of childhood is declining. I fear for the next generation. Of course, many parents right now, I wonder how they are keeping things together, right? That they're not beating a child to coma, at the slightest provocation, because the reality is harsh. How much is the average parent getting to buy clothes, to buy RAM, to take pictures, and all of these things that make life easy. And I think, I don't want to go into government should, do this, government should do that, because that's a far place. How are people coping? Basically is my thoughts. Is 3 square meals still? Is it not a luxury now?
2 is not.
So it's a lot to process. That's just the little that are coming to mind, or that I've been thinking about. I sincerely cannot sit down to say, okay, I want to take in what people are going through currently. I can't comprehend that fully. right? But the little that we are seeing, someone said, I think there was a research done. They said Nigerians are the happiest people on the face of the planet.
Suffering and smiling, my brother.
That at the end of the day, we just find a way to make ourselves happy. But we have a choice.
Stephen, honestly, if anybody looks at you, they will conclude like that. They will conclude that Nigerians are the happiest people because you are always smiling. I don't know how you do.
I don't know why people have that imagination, man.
It's not an imagination.
Are you not smiling?
Stephen, you're always smiling. So it just, and it doesn't mean that you're not going through difficult times. Nobody is saying that. But I don't know, you have this ability to be able to smile anyway, No, yeah, I'm sure people.
Are you blushing?
I'm sure people tell you that all the time because you're always smiling. I'm sure Okwe will not come out smiling. I know Okwe will come out, and but Stephen will smile irrespective. God bless you. All right, Okwe, let's hear.
Okay, so because me, I don't used to smile now.
Calm down.
So, it's tough, even as adults surviving the times of this country. There were times growing up where you arrange the food pack of a child. At the base, there are drinkables. I can't start mentioning the name. At the middle, there are fruits. At the top, there's the normal food. So during the break, the kids are looking forward to going on break and eating their food. There is that excitement. The school bus, the Children's Day, the parade, the gifts you give to your children when they come first in class, the prize giving day, the joy of listening to your child's name being called best in mathematics, neatest pupil, those were nostalgic feelings that I could relate with. But look at where a Nigerian child is today. Before we even start talking about the security problem, what is the fate of a Nigerian child? So about a month ago, we talked about malnutrition on this show.
Malnutrition.
How Nigerian children are experiencing stunted growth because they are not eating the right meal. They're not getting the right medication. They're not getting the right attention. Some of them are not starting school at the time they should start. Some of them have been withdrawn from schools now because their parents could not pay the tuition fee or the school fees that they call them. Some of them are hawking on the streets. Some of them are beggars. And so when you look at a society that has over 60% of the young population, and then you look at how many percentage of out-of-school children, for statistics now, in the world, Nigeria has 12% of the entire out-of-school children in Nigeria, over 18 million of them. So you look at these children and asking that, while we're celebrating Children's Day, what does it mean to those kids on the street? Those kids that don't have homes to go back to at night. They sleep under the kiosk, they sleep inside motor parks, they sleep in abandoned buildings. They don't have homes to go to. They don't have places they call home. If you go to the IDP camps, they're scattered across every state in this country, except a few. You will see that the children are the worst hit from the consequences of those actions. Like I said, adults can adapt. We can easily manage the situation. But imagine a 2-year-old that has been in the forest for the past 2 weeks. A 4-year-old, a family that has 3 of their children in that same forest. So while the entire world is celebrating, what is a Nigerian child hopeful about? How many Nigerian children can say that we are now taking balanced diets? So there's no way we'll not experience stunted growth. Balanced diets. How many Nigerian child can wake up and say, I'm eating what I want to eat? There were days where those times, it is you wanting to eat what you want to eat as a child. Now, you have to eat what is available. If you are lucky, you find what your parents can afford to give you. Go to the bus stops. Once there's traffic stop, you see children running out of nowhere, knocking the window, begging you for money. Those kids can be kidnapped. Those kids can be raped.
Those kids I want to correct you. Those kids can be may be kidnapped, and those kids may kidnap. Go ahead.
So we've gotten to that place as a nation where we only pay lip service to the safety and the concerns of the Nigerian child. When we were growing up, we used to go to the stadium to go and march. They'll give us gifts. We're going to do Children's Day. The maybe local government chairman will come and welcome us. We'll snap pictures. We'll go on excursion. Those days are long gone.
Those days are long gone. Those days are really, really long gone. I'm sure that if we had the time, we would go on and on, recalling youth, and it will never end. But you see, I would like to tell you a small story. Once upon a time, I had a guest on the breakfast show on MITV, and the guest was from an NGO, and she dealt with children. And she told me this story that I'm about to tell you about a child. Each time she went to that location and she gathered the children, this child was always there, in the class, listening and everything. But she said this child never smiled for once. He never smiled. He always had a permanent frown, an angry look on his face. And so she singled him out of the crowd and decided that she was going to investigate why this child never looked happy. And somehow she was able to, get into that child's heart, make him trust her, get the confidence, and she said to him, "Why is it that you're always angry?" And he said to her, "I'm angry because I have killed someone. I'm angry because I am an armed robber, but I don't want to be. That's why I'm angry." Now, this child, had been coaxed, what some people say coaxed, into joining a group of people who were armed robbers. And he became an armed robber himself. And he used to carry arms, and he would go with this group, and on one operation, he killed somebody. And from that day on, he never knew peace. And so that's why I said to you, they may kidnap they may be kidnapped and they may kidnap. It depends on how exposed they have been to crime. Now, the Nigerian child does not deserve this kind of life. The kind of life that the Nigerian child deserves is the kind of life that Okwe spoke about, the kind of life that Stephen spoke about, and I was almost lost because the way he spoke about it, I could almost relive, his childhood, even though I wasn't there. That's the kind of life the Nigerian child deserves. But unfortunately, Nigerian leaders don't even care about the Nigerian child anymore. But guess what? We on the Breakfast Express show, we at MITV Plus, we care about the Nigerian child. And that's why today we've set aside this day for the Nigerian child. And our prayer is that Nigeria, the leaders in Nigeria, will one day, remember their consciences and listen to their consciences and remember the Nigerian child. Because the Nigerian child is helpless. The Nigerian child is reaching out, looking out for a better life. The Nigerian child, deserves so much that he or she is not getting. It's time for us to stop. Take a moment to think about the Nigerian child. The Nigerian child today is the future leader of Nigeria tomorrow. Would like for the government and for our leaders to make the Nigerian child, comfortable in his home, in her home, in her school, in society. That's the one call we're making today. 27th of May, 2026 is Children's Day. That's the one call, that's the one plea. And Okpe will always say, don't plead with the government because it is their responsibility. But sometimes, you have to stoop to conquer. And that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm stooping to conquer. So I'm pleading with the government to remember the Nigerian child on Children's Day. That's the much we will take today, this morning. We'd like to say our goodbyes.
I agree with you. I also plead with the government.
You plead with the government?
Kids come out alive.
Honestly.
It's painful.
It's painful.
Well, today is Wednesday, the midweek edition. Tomorrow is Thursday, as we build up to the weekend as well. But don't forget to always keep your dial locked with us here. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. My name is Okpeyemi. Okpeyemi Akin. Have a beautiful celebration and stay safe.
Every day, today is for the leaders in power. Tomorrow, it will be the children in your offices, in your seats. right? Let's try to do the right thing. My name is Stephen Odoli.
And I would say, why don't we take a look at the man in the mirror? Stand in front of your mirror. Take a look at yourself, whether you're a woman or a man. Is there anything you need to change? Change it ASAP so that we can make the world, we can make Nigeria a better place to live. My name is Tom Aderile. Thank you so much for being on the Breakfast Express show with us today. We hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good day, have a happy Salah, and have a happy Children's Day. God bless you and see you tomorrow.